Genesis 21, Bible Study Script, KJV. Today we will journey deeply into Genesis, chapter 21, verses 1 through 34 in the King James Bible. This chapter reveals the faithfulness of God, the fulfillment of His promise, and His protection over those who trust Him. Let us begin. Historical and spiritual background. Genesis 21 takes place after many years of waiting. Abraham and Sarah had received God's promise of a son, yet decades passed with no child. In the ancient Near Eastern culture, having no heir was considered a great sorrow and even a disgrace. Yet God had declared that Abraham would become the father of many nations. This chapter reveals that God's promises are never delayed without purpose and never broken by time. From a Hebrew perspective, the birth of Isaac represents not merely a child being born, but the birth of a covenant lineage. The name Isaac in Hebrew means laughter, reflecting Sarah's laughter of disbelief transformed into laughter of joy. God turns doubt into fulfillment. He turns waiting into testimony. Genesis chapter 21, verses 1 to 7. The birth of Isaac, promise fulfilled. The Lord visited Sarah as He had promised. At the appointed time, Sarah conceived and bore a son to Abraham in his old age. Abraham was 100 years old when Isaac was born. This was not merely a miracle of biology, it was a miracle of covenant. God intentionally waited until human strength was gone, so that His divine power would be unmistakable. Sarah declared, "God hath made me to laugh, so that all that hear will laugh with me." Here we see a profound spiritual truth. When God fulfills His promises, not only are we restored, but our testimony becomes a source of joy for others. Spiritual insight. God often waits until situations seem impossible. This is not neglect. This is divine timing. What God promises will come to pass not by human effort, but by His faithfulness. Genesis chapter 21, verses 8 to 14. Hagar and Ishmael sent away. As Isaac grew, tension arose between Isaac and Ishmael. Sarah saw Ishmael mocking Isaac and requested that Hagar and Ishmael be sent away. This moment appears harsh at first glance, yet from a theological perspective, it represents the separation between the child of promise and the child born through human effort. The Apostle Paul later explains this in Galatians. Ishmael represents the flesh and human striving. Isaac represents promise and grace. God told Abraham to listen to Sarah, assuring him, "In Isaac shall thy seed be called." Yet God also showed compassion to Hagar and Ishmael. He promised to make Ishmael into a great nation. Spiritual insight. Even when we make mistakes, God does not abandon us. Though Ishmael was not the covenant child, God still provided for him. This reveals the mercy of God, not only toward the chosen line, but toward all who cry out to Him. Genesis chapter 21, verses 15 to 21. God hears the cry in the wilderness. Hagar and Ishmael wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. When their water ran out, Hagar wept, believing death was near. But God heard the voice of the child. The name Ishmael itself means God hears. This moment fulfills that meaning. God opened Hagar's eyes and she saw a well of water. The well had always been there, but she could not see it until God revealed it. Spiritual insight. Sometimes provision already exists. We simply need God to open our eyes. In the wilderness seasons of life, God is still present. He hears every cry, even those whispered in despair. God was with the boy as he grew. Even outside the covenant line, God's presence remained with him. This shows that God's compassion extends far beyond human boundaries. Genesis chapter 21, verses 22 to 34. Covenant with Abimelech. Later, Abimelech recognized that God was with Abraham in all he did. He requested a covenant of peace. This is significant. Even foreign kings could see God's favor upon Abraham. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba and called upon the name of the Lord, the everlasting God, El Olam. This is one of the first times God is called everlasting God in Scripture. It reveals that God's covenant and presence extend through all generations. Spiritual insight. When God is with us, even the world recognizes His favor. Our lives become living testimonies of His faithfulness. Abraham's planting of the tree symbolizes stability, permanence, and faith in God's enduring promises. Theological and spiritual meaning. Genesis 21 teaches us four powerful truths. 1. God keeps His promises. Even if fulfillment seems delayed, God never forgets His word. 2. God hears every cry. Whether in covenant or wilderness, He listens. 3. God separates promise from human striving. What is born by faith endures. 4. God is everlasting. His covenant stretches beyond time and generations. Application for today. Are you waiting for a promise? God is working. Are you in a wilderness season? God hears you. Do you feel forgotten? God sees and provides. The same God who fulfilled his promise to Abraham is working in your life today. Trust his timing. Trust his faithfulness. Trust his everlasting covenant.
Thank you.